Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I am your host, Rethne, and every episode I bring a comic from all over the country and we talk about their comedy journey so far. And I A while ago I interviewed this comic, and he's out of Northeast Florida, just like myself, and currently, and I met him in St. Augustine uh, at the Corazon Cinnamon Cafe when it was still open, and they were doing stand-up comedy shows, and um, and he's a wonderful guy, and can't wait to have him as my guest. And we've talked about redoing his interview because there was questions that he answered that are outdated. So I can't wait to update his answers for you today. So without further ado, coming to the stage is Cortez Brooks. Hey, Tez, how are you?
What's good, my G? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being my guest today.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
I appreciate you, and yeah, we were talking about updating your interview for the longest time, and so I'm glad we're finally getting to do it.
Yeah, man. I think he was the first person to actually interview me too, so that's cool.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that I had the honor to do so, and I'm glad that this is your. How many interviews have you done so far since then?
I got a quite a few. I can't even keep count of them, but like, cause things been going so good lately, so I've been actually been able to people actually been hitting me up about interviews. So I mean, it's almost getting normal now.
Heck yeah, that's good to hear. I'm so proud of you. It's like it's all part of the journey,
Thank
the
you.
process, and then everyone wants to get to know you off the stage and on stage and all that stuff. So we're gonna dive right in. And
Yeah.
I perform comedy in Jacksonville a lot, and you perform there a lot too. And what's it like for
Yeah.
you in the Jacksonville comedy scene for you?
It's not a big scene, but it's when it's rolling, it's rolling. It's cool. It's good. I got a lot of fan support. Still reaching a lot of new people, so that's cool. I'm actually one of the tops here, so I mean, so that's always good. Being able to get booked a lot when things do come through. So I mean, I can't complain a lot.
Indeed, and I like what I look forward to the most is like your storytelling, and like I see that like whether I see you
Oh yeah,
live or on your comedy specials that you put out, and it's just fantastic. So we'll get into those later
yeah.
for sure. And I love how like
Okay.
you're more real than funny, and I see everyone wearing your shirts and how supportive the
Yeah,
whole Jacksonville is for
yeah,
you. It's fantastic. So great to see. Absolutely.
yeah.
And
That's
speaking of
dope.
more real than funny, how did you come up with this the slogan?
I was at work and one of my managers found out I do comedy. He just started asking me a lot of questions and he was like, he was trying to get me to create shirts and I was against it for probably like a year. We would go back and forth and and I finally agreed to it. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Then he was like, you got to do something where people remember you even when you're not there. And somebody wear a shirt, they gonna always can remember you. So I was like, cool. And I was just like, I knew my style of jokes at first. A lot of people wasn't laughing at them. You know what I'm saying? Like I get a few people here and there. And then one show, I was just like, these jokes are real than funny, and like everybody started laughing. So I was like, I'm gonna stick with that, and I ended up putting it on the shirt, and I used my Gap as the logo. So I'm like, hey, it worked, and it's something that people always remember me for, even if they don't remember my name. They be like, hey, that's more real than funny. So it came up like being pushed to it, and then I finally said something that like I feel like could stick with me. So now I even say it on stage a lot. So that's how it came about.
Awesome. And your jokes are thought provoking, and everyone can almost relate to everything, and it's so true. And it's like, man, that's why I love seeing you perform stand up. It's like no matter where you go, you can still get them. It's like it's
Yeah,
fantastic. And you have a
definitely.
special titled "I Can't Breathe" on Amazon Prime, Tidal, Spotify, and every
Yeah,
streaming platform out there. And how did you get all
yeah.
that come together?
Well, the special was we it started with I've been wanting to do it, man, but I didn't know when the time was right. So I stopped thinking about I'm gonna ever get the right time. So I just did it. And I hit up a guy I did a movie with, to, my guy David Godfrey, uh, to film it for me, and he was all in. And I was like, let's just make it a special. And he was like, that's even better. And we talked, and he understood my vision, and he was already like halfway thinking what I was thinking. So it was so easy. And I mean, I just really went up there and just, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I really freestyled like 90% of those jokes. And I wasn't even thinking space. I just was just flowing with it and having fun.
Indeed, and there's like interesting like instrumental in the background there when I was listening to it and watching it and stuff, and
Yeah,
whose idea was it to put in
yeah.
the instrumental in there?
It was his idea. It was my idea to try and like minimize the laughs as much as possible, like to where I really can't hear no laughs on it because I wanted something different that like that's like for me, like that really stands out also, but it's still in my field and it's me. So I was like, first, because I wanted to do it with nobody in the crowd. I wanted to just go to a comedy spot and just perform it where he's just filming and it's just me. So he was like, even better, we can get a small spot and I'll only have your microphone on. That's on you. So it won't pick up it won't pick up too many laughs of the audience. So I was like, cool, I can work with that. I mean, and it worked out perfectly. And he was like, to make it even better, we'll add a little jazz into it because the first time he filmed for me was in black and white, and that's what I wanted. So he was like, let's do black and white again, and then let's add the jazz into the background. It went perfect, man.
Most definitely, and it caught me by surprise, and that's because I was like, I never expected to hear that, I'm just like waiting, and I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I can dig this. This is pretty
yeah,
nice. It's like really
yeah,
chill. And so
yeah, and
you
that's
also
my whole vibe, man.
absolutely, and on you, I saw another thing that you released on YouTube, and it's your Cash App handle as your comedy special name, and that's pretty awesome. Like, what
Yeah.
made you pick your Cash App handle as your title for that?
Again, this wasn't. It was. I went with the same guy, David. Man, he's amazing. He's so creative. And like we always like going back and forth about titles, and I give him a lot of creative freedom to do what he want to do when it comes to my filming, just because we so cool and I trust him. So we're going back and forth about a name, and he was like, "How about we just use your cash out handle?" I was like, "I don't know, that's kind of tacky." He was like, "Let's try it," and I said, "Okay, I trust it." And we did it, and we put it out. I put it out for free, and it was more of like how rappers drop albums and mixtapes. Well, this was like an album leading up to my next. I mean, a mixtape leading up to my next album. So I was like, cool, we drop it for free and just let people watch it on YouTube. And I'm cool with the Cash App handle. And it worked. It worked. We got a couple donations here and there. So, I mean, it was creative.
Yeah, and quite a genius move. You put it for free, and still people pay to see it, so it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
man. Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely. And I'm working on my second album too, like in Daytona Beach, and it's like
Okay.
it's a concept album where I put my new jokes in the beginning, and then I all my friends know they have a favorite joke of mine, and so I yell out to the
Yeah,
crowd, like to them, I'm like, which joke do you want to hear next? And then they shout out their
yeah.
favorites, and then I just put it in the album. So I'm getting like 12 tracks in 5 minutes each. It's gonna be a fantastic album. It's like a collaborative effort, so it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
Indeed.
that's dope. And Daytona love you too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. It's like, man, you should come down more often. They'd love you too. It's like just some Jacksonville comics just road trip with them and stuff, and they all come down. And that's what's
Yeah.
cool about the Nog. It's like everyone goes there from Melbourne to Orlando to Jacksonville. They all just meet up there every Wednesday. It's dope.
Yeah, every time I go there, they show me a lot of love. I did a show there. Last time I did a show there probably was like 4 years ago. I had two shows that night, and man, I ripped. Like, I left that show and went to the Nog, and man, they showed me so much love. I was like, this is amazing, and it's a different crowd from like my majority of my crowd. So it's always amazing, man.
Absolutely. That's what I love about that place. All is welcome, you know. And Tez,
Definitely.
these are the questions I asked you at the core zone when I first met you, and so I'm seeing if all your answers have been updated since all of our favorite comedians have been canceled so far. So
Okay.
let's see if they got them going. So with that being said, Tez, what inspired you to perform stand up comedy?
uh, I, I I didn't get inspired. I think one of my well, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of inspiration. I went to a comedy show and everybody sucked. And it was kind of joking. Like I was told my girlfriend, I was like, I can do that. And she was like, yeah, you can. But like in a sarcastic manner still, but like she kind of believed. And I was like, watch. And like one of my friends I did comedy, I went to one of his shows and I told him, I was like, I want to do comedy, man. At the comedy show, I was like, I want to do comedy. He was like, you for real? I'm like, I'm serious. So he was like, if you for real, go buy a composition book and write some jokes. I was like, bet, I can do that. I went home, wrote like 3 or 4 jokes, and he was like, I'm gonna come pick you up and take you to the open mic. And he did that and introduced me to some guys. And like I got invited to an open mic like the next week, and I went and did it, and it kind of felt right. So I was like, I'm gonna stick with it. And I mean, ever since then, I just been rolling.
Awesome, fantastic. And what was the feeling like when you first performed stand up?
Uh, it was something different. It was a different feel, man. It was like the first time you touch a jellyfish. or something in that taste, like a different taste. It was like this is. It feels weird, but it feels good, and it's something different. And it was dope, man. It was real interesting. Like, cause anybody know me know before, like I wasn't a talkative person, and I wasn't a person that liked to talk in front of crowds. So I mean, it was cool, and I had a lot of my family there, so that made it even better.
Absolutely, indeed. I had my parents at my show once, and at Jackie Knight's, and I bombed in front of them. And they're like, "We don't get any of your jokes, but we'll support you 100%." Oh man,
That's why I
good
did my
time.
first actual show at Jackie Knight's.
Nice. It's a one heck of a room, and some of them get my jokes, and some don't. Even the crowds out there, but I'm just like, I'm gonna stick with Daytona because they love the dirty stuff. So, and
I
and
feel you.
what are you, other than your own? What are your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
Man, I'm trying to see. Only one I can mention on top is Patrice O'Neal, Elephant in the Room. Uh, I love that one. Uh, I'm trying to see. I can't think of too many. Like I like one of Kevin Hart's old specials. Grown Little Man. I think that's the name of it. I think that was really the first time I like laughed watching, like cry laughing watching comedy. So that's one. Can't think of too many other ones because I don't really like watching comedy too much,
I feel you.
especially
Like
not the big guy.
indeed, same here. Like ever since I started doing stand up, I'm like, I can't watch it. I can't listen to
Yeah,
somebody else's. It's just like it just
yeah,
feels like I don't know. I just don't want to be like influenced by them, I guess. So,
yeah.
but
That's definitely one reason.
indeed, but there's one person that changed the game for me that which was Neil Brennan's Three Mics. That one was totally completely
Uh-huh.
left field, and I was like, I love this one. That's the only one that stood out recently.
I never even seen it.
Oh man, you gotta see it. Like one mic is for like his jokes, one mic is for his personal stories, and one mic is for one liners. And it's so sick. It's like, dang, that's a whole new oof. It was
Yeah,
intense.
that's hella
Yeah,
creative.
heck yeah. So it's on
Yeah,
Netflix. So check it out. I recommend it. It's like
Okay.
the only one that I would recommend. Yeah, and some of
Okay.
those folks have been on TV and film. And what are your favorite sitcom sketch shows and comedy films?
Man, everybody know me. Know I love Seinfeld, man. Like that's probably my favorite show. I love Seinfeld. Uh, that Jamie Foxx show. Um, trying to see what else I like to watch. 2.5 Men. I love that. Growing up, I used to love Mad TV. That was like probably my favorite sketch show. Uh, man, sitcoms. That's really mainly like my favorite ones. Like if somebody told me to sit them down and watch my favorite sitcoms, those would be my ones right there. Seinfeld and Jamie Foxx.
Absolutely. And comedy films.
Oh, mm, does Friday count?
Yeah, Friday counts.
Friday. Man, I like old comedy movies. I don't think the new ones are really good, man. I like Friday. I like all the black comedies, man. To be honest, movie wise, like and Hangover's my shit.
Indeed.
I love that too. Yeah,
Indeed. Friday is a classic for sure, and Hangover too. And
yeah.
if you can go on tour with any comic, local and internationally known, which comics would you like to go on tour with?
Oh, um, Carlos Miller for sure. I love Carlos Miller. I love his style, his energy, his joke talent, his freeness. I love him. Let's see, Bruce. I love Bruce. I love his respect for the younger comedians. He give them freedom to actually be funny in front of him. A lot of people don't. Uh, Man, I'm trying to see. It's not too many people, man. Uh, Lil Duval, just because he's from the crib, man. Not so more of him, but it's just like it's somebody from the crib and they doing good. They from Duval, they actually doing good, and like I just want to work with him. And even from seeing him the first time on Comic View and with the Jaguar jersey on, that was something that was inspirational. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, didn't even know he was from Duval, but I mean it'd be like them break up. And I love to work with Chappelle too. You know, he's like the great right now, and I love to do them big old tours he do and learn from him. Everybody that I want to work with, I want to learn from.
Absolutely, and that's why I watch their interviews that they do with other comics and stuff. Because man, you learn so much from them. You know, with
Yeah,
like the 85 South show, or I was watching
yeah,
Carlos Miller and Chico Bean's interview with Hot Breath, and I'm like, man, I learned so much from those. It's like it's amazing.
yeah.
And let's see here, if you can get
Yeah,
roasted by five
most of those.
comedians, yeah, absolutely. And if you can get roasted by five comedians, past and present, which comedians would like to get roasted by?
Roasted. Man, I'm gonna go with Jamie Foxx, um, Bernie Mac, uh, Red Fox. Let's see, who else? Um, Corey Holcomb and Wanda Sykes.
That's quite a panel you got there. It'd be a one epic roast to see.
Man,
Absolutely.
it'd
And
be cold.
absolutely. And where do you see your comedy journey in the next 5 years?
Man, I see me like being in the next 2 years. I see me on being on the to watch list. Like this guy is this guy coming. So the next 5 years, I see me. I'm in the industry. I see me in the industry, like doing way better, making a lot more moves, being like becoming a household name in a sense, man. Uh, and traveling more, like a lot more. I take it serious like that, and I have that confidence where I know I'm gonna be at that point. You know what I'm saying? Either whether I'm featuring, headline, or hosting on the road, I'm gonna be on the road for sure. As long as I keep going, uh, I see me doing good things. I see me with a lot of comedy albums also. So in the next 5 years, I hopefully I have about 10 albums out there.
Dang, that's a lot for sure. And I know that you'll get there because you're
Yeah.
one of the funniest comics I've ever seen. So
Oh yeah.
absolutely,
I
and
appreciate it.
indeed. And Tez, which other forms of comedy would you like to venture off into, like improv, sketch, comedy writing, acting, directing, etc.?
Everything, literally, man. Everything. Like I want to have my hands in everything. I want to build up and I want to build out. You feel me? I want to act. I want to write. I want to do sketch. I want to improv. I want to do stand up. Uh, everything, man. If it got to be involved with the art of comedy, I want to be a part of it. Uh,
Abs-
I feel like I should be a part of it. Uh, because I work on all of these things in the house, outside the house, everyday life. I mean, is what I was actually writing. Like right before this, you hit me up. So this is something I do. You know what I'm saying? I want to be one of the greats when I finish and while I'm working. So I want my face to be everywhere. Just how you see Nike on everything, billboards, t-shirts, uh, jerseys. I want to be everywhere, man.
Absolutely, indeed, and that's what my plan is too. Is like just to like I have this goal of like performing, living in a city in the Central Time Zone, like in 12 different cities, one for each month next
Yeah,
year. So I'm saving up now so I can do it and performing in those different cities and getting to know everybody, so I can build my network. Because your
yeah,
network is your net worth, and since I'm single, no kids, I'm
yeah.
gonna do it. It's like I'm gonna just
You
go
got
back
to.
home to Colorado and just retire and just chill. So it'll be fun. Indeed.
That's dope,
And
man. Hell
heck yeah. I move around a lot because I'm a Capricorn, you know. So I'm just like I was in Colorado, LA, here, and then I just want to just bounce around a lot until I
yeah.
can finally settle down. Like I'll be good. And and Tez, what's your favorite joke a comic has written?
Oh man, one joke.
Yep. Or it
Um,
could be a couple that stand out.
it'll probably be from Robert Powell, man. Um, Robert Powell is amazing to me. I'm trying to see. I don't even know which one, man. I don't know. It has to be a Robert Powell joke, though, or maybe a Corey Holcomb joke. I like one Corey Holcomb joke about the woman having the miscarriage and losing the baby in the toilet, and him having to act like he was sad about it as they watched the baby go down the toilet. I mean, it was that joke is because it's just like the being as a comedian we get to see people facial expressions,
Yeah,
and for me that's like seeing facial expressions is almost as great as the laughs. So just seeing through his eyes the people facial expressions when he tell that joke is so amazing to
absolutely. Like I am, and you can picture it too, which is intense and like when
me.
and like Brian Thomas, he says that about me a lot, you know, and he was like, whenever I do like Jack and Nights or one of his rooms in Jacksonville or something, like he goes, you know, whenever
Yeah,
you say a punchline and it hits, you have this big old
yeah,
grin on your face, and I'm like, I can't help it, it's just natural. So it's like I got him, you know. It's like it's fantastic,
yeah,
and he pulls me to the side and tells me every single time. It's fantastic. I love Brian and all he does for the scene,
yeah,
and
definitely.
and let's see here. And what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
um Freedom, bro. Freedom. That you could be free to laugh at anything. You could be free to think anything, to basically say anything, and as long as you're not offending people purposely, man. Like you as comedians, we probably 90% of the time offend people, and it's not even on purpose. But we going up there just to create laughter. But I mean, I just want people to be free and to be in themselves, man. Whether it's in front of an audience, whether it's behind closed doors, and that's one thing I want people to take from me. And I want people to realize that I'm open minded. You know what I'm saying? So all this comes from me being a free thinker. And I want people to feel like that. And I want people to feel like they can laugh at themselves all the time, even if you're going through something. I mean, I get mental health is real, but I feel like sometimes you gotta laugh at yourself. And I want people to feel like that's okay. To know, okay, I'm effed up, but I can laugh at me. And that's what I want people to take always, man. Just be free for real.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, and that's what I. It's like, when people get offended at the in Daytona, they give them a fair warning at the top of the show, and it's like the most intense warning. It's like, all right, if you get offended, you know what to do, and it's like the funniest intro, so it's fantastic. And so, Ted's, this is the stand-up speakeasy. It's the Roaring Twenties of Prohibition. It's a secret society of stand-up comics, and to get on the show, you have to know somebody that knows somebody, and I know you, so I always, you hit me up on
Yeah.
Twitter. It's like, I want to be on that show. I'm like, all right, you got it. So with that being said, Tez, which comics in Jacksonville would you like to see as my future guest on the stand-up speakeasy?
Antoine Murphy. Antoine Murphy, man. Him just specifically because he's like, he's to me, he's probably the funniest comedian in Florida, honestly. Energy, crowd work, joke telling, uh, image, everything. Antoine Murphy, like, he's going to be somebody. He just got that glow about him. And I watched him come from the same dirt I came out of and having to grow. That man is like, he's dope. I feel like he deserving of a lot of more attention that he don't get, and but I feel like he's one of those guys to where you can put him in any atmosphere and he'll come out on top in the comedy world anywhere. New York, L.A., Colorado, Dallas, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, anywhere. I just feel like he is amazing with jokes and he's great with words, man. And his punchline hit, and he's a man of people, man. He's a great guy.
Indeed, I'll definitely reach out to him because I've seen him perform a couple of times at the uh, the old comic club in Jacksonville with the train in the background. And I know it's no longer there, but it's just like it brings me
Yeah,
back memories of that. And I'll definitely try and reach out to him and see if he'll be a guest on my
yeah,
show, and we'll see what happens. So, with that being
yeah.
said, Tez, please follow Tez on Instagram, Twitter, donate to his Cash App, and all that good stuff. And it's all scrolling on the bottom. It's in the description box below. It'll be on my website too, so you can just copy and paste and all that good stuff. And with that being said, Tez, are there any final words you'd like to give out to the audience at home?
Yeah, man. Check out my special on Amazon Prime, man. Entitled "I Can't Breathe." Um, it's very creative. It's all me. Far as like the jokes, it's I think I shot it 2 years ago. It's been doing great, man. Shot it in Jacksonville, Florida, downtown at the Justice Pub when it first like opened. Um, Check it out, man. Get you a laugh in. Uh, Follow me on social media. Hit me up. Whatever. I got my own T-shirt brand too, man. I got my own website, CortezBrooks.com. All kinds of shirts for almost everybody, man. Funny logos on it, funny sayings. I just want to let you know I appreciate you for this platform. Even I rock with you, but still, you didn't have to accept my me wanting to be on here. But man, I appreciate you. Thank you for this opportunity. And every time we link up, bro, it'll always be a good time. And just like this, it was a great conversation. And
Absolutely.
I just want to let you know I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Tez, and that's why I love helping you out along your comedy journey because I know that we're on the same path and we want to, get always level up
Yeah,
It's always a pleasure seeing you perform stand up and seeing
Yeah,
you like love is love when I see you in Jacksonville or wherever we may be. And it's like, and I'll be sure to put your link on your Amazon and your website below in post production, so that way people will like sell out your shirts and just buy your special, and hopefully they book you too through there and all that good stuff through social media. Because, like I said, Tez is like one of my favorite storytellers, jokesters. He's just book him. That's all I gotta say. Book him. He has my vouch. So whatever
I
that's worth.
appreciate it.
Absolutely, Tez. And thank you again for being my guest. And I'll piece this together and I'll send it your way. And you can put it on your press kit and all that good stuff. And for everyone else, be safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Stand Up Speakeasy. Be well, everyone.